So I recently just played this game called Among Us. This game's been popular recently, and so I decided to try it out. It was a pretty fun game. One day I was scrolling through Reddit when I found a code to a room. The author of the post mentioned that it was the so-called forbidden code. Curious, I decided to play. It took a couple tries, but I was able to get in the room. Unsurprisingly, it was full because there were already others who were just as curious as I was. For the first few rounds, nothing really happened. It was just another gameplay. But then... What the? There's another player here. Weird. He wasn't in the lobby. He had a blank nickname. What was weird was that, as I was in the room with him, he entered the vent and gave himself away, as if he was waiting for me to witness. And so I told everyone that he went inside the vent. His only reply was a mocking smiley face before he was ejected. What a creep. For some reason, the next couple rounds were a bit weird. As I played, I kept hearing noises, and it sounded as if it came from the outside, not from my earphones. It was sort of like a man breathing heavily. There was nothing there though. I decided to do some other stuff, so I exited the game. A few days passed, and at some point I thought of entering that same code just for fun. And there he was again, the user with no name. A lot of the times I would see him go inside the vent. It was so weird. It was as if he was waiting for me to catch him going inside of the vent. I mean, why would you give yourself away like that? I never understood it. I suddenly heard a human noise. It seemed muffled, as if it wasn't coming from my earphones, but rather from inside the room I was in. I took off my earphones and looked around. The room was dark. It was already 2 a.m. Something seemed to be off. I stood up and shined a light across the room, and for a moment, I saw something glisten behind the vent. Something told me not to go near it. It must have been my imagination. So I sat down and tried to calm myself down. I must be watching too many horror movies. Suddenly, I heard a beeping noise in my computer. I peeked at it, and my eyes widened. It was the security camera footage in the game, except that the footage looked familiar. I suddenly realized that it bore such a striking resemblance to my room. It almost seemed as if there was a camera set up, and it seemed to be coming from... No. Slowly, I turned around. I looked behind me, seeing if there was anything. The vent was open, and inside, there was a smiling creature.